consistent online.
Good evening, everybody and anyone, and welcome to another Star Esports production. We're here with the Overwatch All-Star Brawl number 3. Hope you guys are excited. Been doing this for a while. I'm having a good time with it. I am Twess, and as always, I can't do this alone. Tonight, I'm joined by Shy Guy. How you doing tonight, Shy?
I am doing excellent. I'm excited to be back here. This is going to be a fantastic match, and I'm just pumped to be here with you this evening.
Yeah, man, you got a couple casts under our belt together now, and spoilers to viewers at home, sounds like we're going to have a few more in the future together, Shy, so it should be a good time, and I'm ready to get another brawl underway, man. You said good match, and I think it's going to be a good tournament, so it keeps getting better and better as we go on. Tonight we've got Scion eSports versus Magna Terra, both teams that we've seen in the past. Magna Terra was obviously in the last tournament a couple weeks ago that just ended just recently. And with us tonight as well, Shy, to start off the show, we've got Scorch, the manager of Magna Terra. Scorch, welcome back, man. Nice to have you on the show again. How you doing, bud?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me back. My name's Scorch. I'm the manager for Magna Terra and one of the co-owners of the Magna organization. I'm happy to be here.
Always a pleasure having you here, man. Are you pretty ready for your team? You think your team's ready and ready to rock for this upcoming Brawl tournament?
Yeah, for sure. Coming off last month's tournament, we placed 4th. We're looking to just get better rating than we did last time, and then our first match here is against Scion eSports is looking to be a good one for sure.
You guys been doing anything different at all? You guys learned anything as you guys continue to improve as an organization and continue to practice, especially, I mean, coming back for Star Esports, but I know you guys are doing in other leagues as well. You guys been changing anything up or just kind of staying on the grind?
So we have been changing some things up. Like we finally brought on a full-time coach who's Crash, so he's been helping us a lot in terms of analyzing the meta, what's coming up, like what's good now, how to counter, everything like that. So we've been trying out some new comps, learning them, and then we were just recently in the Title eSports tournament this past weekend where we placed 3rd, so we're coming off that today and we're ready to dive into this match.
Nice, got on the podium, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to have you guys' team back again. For the folks at home watching, who should we keep an out for from Magna Terra tonight? Who's going to be on that kill feed, do you think, most often?
Ooh, tonight, I'd say be looking at Nico and or Garms for sure.
All right, Nico or Garms. Keep your eyes open for him. Shy, you got anything for Scorch tonight, man?
No, I mean, I think you pretty much covered it there. I am very happy to have you guys back with us for the 3rd iteration of the All-Star Brawl, and I'm excited to see you guys continue your trajectory. I mean, 7th in your first tournament, 4th last time. I mean, we're on track for potentially a finals appearance for Magna Terra here, so I'm very excited to see you guys kick off your run here tonight, and thank you for joining us so much, Scorch.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it, and thank you guys. It's been great playing in these tournaments and great talking with you.
All right, have a good one, man. Thank you very much.
You as well.
I would also like to say, Shy, as Scorch steps out of here, that you said that they're improving in terms of their placement with the Star Esports tournaments. But he had also mentioned as well before we got the cast going that he thinks the quality of teams has improved as well, which I would agree with also. So I think everybody is getting better as Star Esports continues to grow, and they are continuing to place higher and higher. So shout out to Magna Terra stepping up, keeping up, and continuing to help this awesome organization grow as well. So.
Yeah, this should be a fun match here tonight, and Magna Terra now kind of one of the veterans of the Star Esports scene. Here they've been around for a little while at this point. We've got a lot of new faces, and for me at least, Scion is one of those new faces. So we will get to see their kind of first crack at the competition here tonight, and that's always exciting to get those new teams here in the tournament, get some new blood, and really invigorate the competition a little bit for going into this newest season.
Yeah, and talking from just a caster's point of view, because I'm not good enough to play in these tournaments. There's no way I could keep up with these guys. But from a caster point of view, I love having the returning teams that have the consistency come in, and I'm really happy that we have some returning teams that really enjoy coming back to these different events that's hosted by Star. But it's also super awesome to have teams that we haven't seen before come in. That means there's new blood coming in, new life, and that's always good for an organization. And I do love that we have kind of a mixed match of both at this point as Star continues to grow. And I would like to give my personal shout out to the organizational members that put these together and keep going. Refuse specifically, man, running the show most of the time for us. And doing the production work and all the background work as well. So Star Esports putting it together for these tier 3 players out here to get together, and they keep coming back, Shy. They keep coming back.
They do. And speaking of those returning faces, Scorch mentioned Nico and Garms as two players to watch throughout the match here tonight, and I think those are two really good players to highlight as we head into this. You know, you've got the flex DPS in Nico. That's the guy who's going to be playing the Doomfist a lot here tonight, and then Garms on that Orisa. I mean, I think that's in a lot of ways kind of the backbone of this Magna Terra team, and in a lot of ways like the meta as a whole right now. The Doomfist, the kind of primary damage dealer at the moment, and that's going to give Nico a real opportunity to thrive.
Yeah, and we've seen him in the past. We've seen him in the previous tournaments. Nico has been on that Doomfist almost consistent. We've seen him flex off it a little bit, swap a couple of times. Maybe when Magna Terra makes a role change, they can have somebody come in and he can switch to other things. But he has been extremely powerful on the Doomfist. Doomfist overall, we've seen in kind of the meta, has been an extremely powerful hero recently. And you mentioned Orisa. Our first map tonight is going to be on Nepal. So I actually am going to love to see some Orisa play with those Orisa yoinks. I love seeing that environmental kill. She does a little bit more than just tank. And you're right, Nico has been consistent as playing her. So
yeah, and to me, the distinction between like the good teams, which, you know, everybody in this tournament is a good team. We're talking like the upper crust of tier 3 Overwatch in the All-Star Brawl here. But what distinguishes the good teams from the great teams, I think, is both the coordination in terms of using those Orisa halts, and then also just the ability to get aggressive on top of that and to take space. Because usually when you're thinking Orisa, you're thinking much more like defensively in style. You're thinking of holding a position and, you know, stopping the enemy team from pushing into you. But if you can kind of turn that on its head and really shake up the paradigm, I mean, that to me is the mark of a really great team win.
yeah, I agree. And it makes me excited to hear Scorch talk about their manager. They're bringing in an official coach for this team to keep them more organized. You talked about the difference between good and great, having that organization. And I think having a main leader that can make, or, you know, help players work together a little bit more efficiently, put together a routine for them to practice on. You obviously see it in the upper leagues of esports and traditional sports. And I think that's really going to allow teams to continue to grow even farther, and I'm excited to see what Magna Terra can bring, and also all the other teams. We haven't got to talk to Scion yet. Maybe we will be able to tonight if they're able to get a victory here. We'll see. But it's awesome to see that growth and awesome to see that consistency of players working together. I do absolutely love it. I think you're hitting awesome points. Shy, as we keep talking, man, I'm ready to get into it now, man. I'm getting hyped. I'm getting excited.
Do it.
I know you personally. Everybody should go check out Shy Guy's Twitter. Shy Guy coming off the hype of the Overwatch League in person. He got to go check it out live, which was dope. But man, I'm ready to see this next Overwatch match, even online. I love it every single time, and we are getting ready to go right now. Nepal, Scion eSports versus Magna Terra, Overwatch All-Star Brawl number 3. It's the third time Star Esports hosted. Let's get in it. Game number 1.
Okay, Scion, I see what you're doing here, breaking up the Bastion on the opening attack here to try to just control the neutral space of the territory. You know, Magna Terra, they're just gonna park themselves in the you know, off the side of the point, underneath the cover. The Bastion can't see them, the Farah can't land these rockets. I like this approach, but, you know, they shouldn't get the first flip, but can they hold on for a significant amount of time?
Yeah, it looks like Magna in a really good position right now, physically where they're located. They're going to try to just squeak out on this point, but that Bastion is going to rip through that Orisa extremely quickly, just like that. Jay and Puduk both go down. Orisa going to follow quickly, and you talked about it, Shy. They were positioned up on that upper part right there off to the side. Bastion was just able to rip through that Orisa shield. No reason at all for them not to take it, and they are going to get the first cap here. I also love to see the pharmacy tactic coming out. Cohesion and PMA Jellies rocking that pharmacy. We saw Magna Terra come out with the pharmacy at the beginning, but swapped off of it. The Bastion just too good, man.
No, I mean, this is a deceptively strong point for Farah. You know, you obviously got the giant pit next to the point for those environmental kills, but you can stay at nice angles. You've got a lot of map geometry to work with to stay safe, but the aggression coming in, and the boop gonna send 2 off the edge.
As you talked about it, man, it's like you predicted the future. Iron Crit trying to get on that point with the environmental kills as well, but Cohesion making it a double right off the beginning of this fight, and that's going to make it tough for Magna Terra to push in. A beautiful play by Farah on the side of Scion eSports, making it look easy. Still got that Bastion sitting in the background, safe behind the shield. Is able to lay in tons of damage. We have to wait for Magna Terra to reset here as players are reviving or working their way around.
No, they managed to stay alive with 4 members over by this mega health pack, and they're gonna regroup. But in the meantime, they've lost these 2 fights. We're now at 55% for Scion eSports. They are looking comfortable with this Bastion strat. He's up on the Maywall. He's got the amplification matrix, and he's going to town.
Oh, he went so close. They almost kept him alive, but he does go down. Doesn't matter, though. Cohesion in the background going to come in with the barrage and knock out 2 more. Jay and Nico going to get taken down. Kill feed looking blue. Niche with a double kill right there onto the 2 supports for Magna Terra. Scion eSports going to be able to hold this out. Clicking up to 80% very quickly here. It's going to be tough for Magna Terra to get in here in time. They got 1 more fight left, but look at this. Got the Bastion ult and that Orisa ult, both ready to roll.
And Magna Terra has been playing things so slowly, so cautiously so far that they've only been able to build up to this Death Blossom. Iron Crit might be able to get up to a Sound Barrier as well to give them a strong engagement tool, but they're wrapping around the back, trying to force some rotations. This is the approach you've got to take against the Bastion, but will it be successful? He's got the Supercharger now to bulk him up.
There's a beautiful wrap. The Maywall does go up to try to separate the Bastion. Zeus, though, with the Reaper, tries to ult, but doesn't get anything out of it other than Niche's ult canister. We saw Bastion drop his ultimate into tank mode. Didn't get anything out of it either, though. Iron Crit's ult will go out to give a little bit extra health. Cohesion with another environmental kill. Garms as well going to take the Bastion off the point. An opportunity for Magna Terra to hold on to this retake.
Okay, it looks like they might finally get it, but Cohesion has something to say about unleashes the barrage. Gets 3 kills at the end of the day, and now they just got to clean up the supports, and Scion going to be able to take a pretty clean victory here on Nepal.
Yeah, Reaper going to try to come in. Zeus going to try to do what he can, but it doesn't matter. Take me league, switching over immediately. Going to get that easy kill, and officially going to score 0.1 of game 1. You're right. It was a pretty clean fight. They lost that fight right there at the end, but it wasn't even a full loss. They kind of just stutter-stepped a little bit, went back and forth in that fight, let Magna Terra cap the point, but they were able to recapture before I'd even say the fight was over. And Cohesion coming out so strong on that map with the Farah. 2 ultimates, I think, in 2 fights back-to-back.
Well, that's the thing. When you are running the Bastion and the Farah as your DPS duo, you've got 2 hyper lethal threats. Like the Pharmacy alone can kind of wreck your day, but in the back you've got the Bastion just drawing all of this attention away from Cohesion, who's able to take great advantage of it, really put Magna Terra on the back foot. Now we'll be shifting into more of a kind of standard matchup here. Both teams rolling out with the Doomfist Reaper DPS duo. So hopefully this plays a little bit more into Magna Terra's favor, at least for their sake.
Yeah, and I do love seeing Garms is going to be out here on this Reinhardt as well. So a hero we don't get to see nearly as often anymore after the fall of Goats, at least. But Garms going to be out here on the Reinhardt, bringing that extra shield with Orisa. A little bit less mobile, maybe, than we see on the other side. But Nico able to get a nice pick off there onto Jelly. He's going to go down, though. Garms does fall first. The 2 Doomfists going after each other, getting in there and taking out a couple of kills. We're 5v5 right now on this first point. Zeus trying to get into the back lines on the Reaper, get through those shields and pop up a little bit of damage. The 2 Reapers shotgunning each other in the face, but Magna Terra going to have to get pushed off this point as Scion is just pushing them back physically. Take me league going to take Orisa out of the fight. And now they're going to keep going. Supreme with the mortar ult pops it in the background, as does the Doomfist, and we got to pause here quickly. Maybe a little bit of issues perhaps on the side of Magna Terra.
Potentially there, but they kind of just get steamrolled off the point. I mean, the only difference in the 2 compositions that you're seeing right now is Duke on that Sigma, Garms on the Reinhardt here for Magna Terra. And it just creates a situation. Yes, they were able to take kind of ownership of the point immediately, but the capture wasn't able to come through before that extra damage coming out from the Sigma and kind of the very methodical play that you have to go with. The Reinhardt puts Magna Terra back, and now they're on the back foot getting cleaned up. It looks like I don't think even Garms is going to be able to escape with his life at the end of this fight. So another great start here for Scion. They are coming out swinging in their first match of the tournament.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice opener for them to get in, get a little bit more comfortable. It's looking really good for them. I'm kind of surprised how that fight went. In terms of the kill feed, they seemed pretty even. I think they were 5v5 for a minute and then 4v4 for a minute. And they did. Magna Terra came out and held that point very well right at the beginning. They got up top with Garms and Jay on the Reinhardt and Orisa. They were all over the front line. And then as they started losing players, even though it kind of was going even, they seemed to back off a little bit. They seemed to kind of retreat, pull back, and that gave enough room for Scion to open up and continue to push them off the point there and all the way back into their spawn. And then once they went on the run, as we can see as we're on this pause screen, or during the pause screen, we can see the kill feed. where they were just able to pick off a couple extra stragglers there in the background. So you're right, Scion looking very good. They were able to hold in strong, and while we have this little bit of delay, we got one of the players having quite a bit of lag issues, so he's going to try to get that figured out. We want it to be an even showing here, make sure everybody's got the right footing. But yeah, looking really good.
It was very interesting there. I mean, a lot of this first fight, in my mind, kind of comes down to the fact that Supreme was able to get that Coalescence online earlier than Paduk. You know,
very fast.
That seems to be kind of the decider in a lot of these opening fights, especially, you know, as long as things, you know, carry on long enough for Ultimates to come online, the Coalescence is gonna be the first one available. And if you can get just a few seconds earlier, it can give your team the momentum they need to push forward and to take space aggressively. That's exactly what Scion do in this fight. They know that they've got the added healing coming out from Supreme, so they're able to surge forward. They push Magna Terra off the point. They once again get control here early. We'll see how Magna Terra is able to kind of re-engage here with the Coalescence of their own.
Right, and you talked about the Coalescence and its strength. We saw that even at the end of the last map. The reason Magna Terra was able to recapture it is because Paduk was able to get his Moira ult up and take Bastion off of that point. As soon as he's able to shoot through, heal up his team, and knock Bastion off the point, they were able to retake it, only for about 23% or so, but it did give them that original fight. So give Scion the fight this time for Supreme, and now Moira on the side of Magna Terra going to try to get it ready. Look where Take Me League is right now on this Reaper. He is hiding up top. He's stealth mode. Is he going to be able to get a pick off here? He's right behind him. They don't see him. Zeus spots him in the background, and he's going to have to fly immediately down. So tries to get a cheeky little early kill. Not able to make it happen right there.
Heads up play from Zeus to check the corners, and now you know, he has pushed his team into a right position. The flank coming in from Take Me Leave might be a little too late, a little too ineffective. The sound barrier out from Iron Crit is trying to keep Magna Terra up.
Yeah, good sound barrier as we see Duke was able to pop his ultimate, get them all lifted up in the air and get them a little bit stuttered, but Iron Crit able to keep them all alive easily there as Scion is one to start to go down now. Ultimate's out for everybody. Cohesion, Supreme, and Niche all dropping them all at the same time on this point. Nico as well, going to take out his doppelganger on the Doomfist. Follows up with Niche on the Orisa as well. And it's looking very good for this fight for Magna Terra as they are able to knock him out. The only player left going to be PMA Jellies on the Lucio, and they finally clear him out, and they are able to retake. But Scion sitting at 70% already. They only got to win one major fight and then hold for just a little bit.
Yeah, but it might take them quite a while here. They used nearly everything in that last fight to try to hold on. Only the Lucio gonna have that sound barrier ready to go for this next engagement. They're probably better off trying to hold back and, you know, build up slowly here. They're gonna invest though.
They are, and Jay drops the ult. Huge damage comes out, but it's going to be picked off. Duke right there on the Sigma able to snipe the ult out, but it's not going to matter as Magna Terra just cleaning up the battlefield with the blue players on Scion right now. Down they will go. Try to get in there and earn themselves maybe a little bit of ult charge, but not able to really get any kills right there. The strength from the Orisa ult is too much for Magna Terra.
To me, that might be a bit of an overinvestment for Magna Terra, though. They commit the supercharger. The Earth Shatter was what kind of cleaned up the fight, and they used the Coalescence as well. They've still got 3 about to be online, so they're looking decent. But that was a lot of resources used for the defenders.
Yeah, another little tricky thing from Zeus here on the other Reaper. He was trying to be stealthy that time, but Cohesion wasn't having it. He spotted him in the backline on that Doomfist and took him out. Take Me League finished him off, so Zeus will go down. Cohesion going to be able to take out Moira in the background as well. Wasn't quite to his ultimate yet. Iron Crit has the ult up with the sound barrier, but it's not going to be enough to keep them alive as Scion does look like they're going to be able to reflip this. No ults needed for them that time. They come in and just clean up with some good old-fashioned left clicking.
Yeah, I mean, they used the Coalescence initially to get them into the fight, but at the end of the day, that's such an efficient push coming out from Scion in that situation. Magna Terra will have the resources to try to retake here, and they do get 77% on the board, so still a pretty solid situation, and they take down Garms immediately.
What a huge play by Cohesion and Take Me League. The Reaper and Doomfist, 2 DPSs were just up here waiting, and they get Garms out on the front line out of that door and just pick him off, and what a disastrous fight right there, unfortunately, for Magna Terra. Scion was just a beautiful play. The 2 DPS, they don't even get back on the point. Scion taking that 2-0.
That is an impressive heads-up play coming out from Scion there. They realize And Magna Terra are going to be coming in with just a bevy of ultimates. They've got the war chest ready to go, ready to come in here to try to retake, and they don't even give them the opportunity. The Reaper and the Doomfist, Cohesion and Take Me League just get right up in their faces. They ambush them on the high ground. They get a couple of quick eliminations, and it's all over. At that point, Magna Terra is scrambling. They can't get back to the point to trigger overtime. And Scion eSports, this is a new team for me, but they come in here and they steal a map away from one of the veterans of this league, a team that has been around for a while, that has been steadily improving, and that is such an impressive win for me.
Yeah, it looked very clean too. They didn't really have too many struggles. What was the first point? 100% to 23, even, and it was only about a half of a retake. I mean, they retook it, but the fight never even really reset on that first Nepal point. On that time, Magna Terra able to get up to about 77%, but still the flipping going definitely in favor of Scion as they were able to take the point first. They get that final cap, and then that beautiful play from the 2 DPS from Scion. It was so awesome to watch as they just pick them off one by one coming out of that doorway. Magna Terra was not ready for that upper hill fight right there at all.
No, they had no idea what hit them on that high ground, and it just completely shuts them down. Now the pressure starts to shift a little bit towards Magna Terra. You don't have a lot of room for error at this point. You've lost the first map, and that's such a huge advantage for Scion. They'll be in control of their own destiny in a sense from here on out. If they can win their own map picks for the rest of the series, they'll be able to take it. But for now, Magna Terra has got to focus on trying to kind of turn this one around, find somewhere they can take this series. And for them, I gotta say, I want to be looking for them to take it away from anywhere that a Bastion can really be played, because Scion was pitch perfect when it came to running Take Me League on that Bastion.
Yeah, it looked really clean on that first point. You're right, and they made it look easy. I think I don't like the shield meta too much. I think it sometimes can be very frustrating to play against, or even it gets a little boring because you really always see the Orisa. Since Sigma's been released, we've consistently seen Sigma, but the shield meta has just been so strong. But Bastion has always been that hard shield breaker. I mean, just that huge amount of DPS output, and if you can protect him with your own shields and give him a safe place to set up camp, man, he will just rip through a team's lineup, as we saw there. So I agree with your call out. I think if you can knock out some good maps that don't have like big sight lines where they can set up on some high ground, protect that Bastion, or at least maps that allow you to wrap around. We saw Magna Terra on that first Nepal map. They did a really good job on that last fight. They wrapped all the way around, got behind the Bastion, knocked them out of their safety zone, and that was allowed them to win that last fight there. But wasn't quite enough, and I think you're right. I think some map pips will be huge here. It is only a best of 5, so if Scion can take 2 more, that is going to be it. And Magna Terra are going to have to obviously take 3 in a row now. Well, not 3 in a row. They can give 1 up, but they will have to take 3. So big opening fight, or big opening game for Scion to open this map up for sure.
No, absolutely. And now they've got to find an answer here, and I'm going to be interested to see through the rest of this series how Magna Terra wants to approach even those maps that are not necessarily for the Bastion, where you've typically got the kind of meta composition. They did not run the Sigma there when they on that final point of Nepal, going in to the Shrine phase without a Sigma in the lineup, and that's an unusual look right now. The Reinhardt for Garms is a little bit out there at the moment. I've seen teams, try to run that as a bit of a more mobile double shield composition, something that perhaps works a little bit better on those control maps where it's entirely kind of close range fighting for the most part. The Reinhardt at his best potentially in those situations, but if they don't have the Sigma in their back pocket, or they're not as comfortable with that to me is kind of a serious hole here for Magna Terra.
Yeah, it could be something they could need to work on. Maybe it's Sigma's been out for a while now, long enough that if it's strong enough in the meta, you should probably be able to be well practiced in it. But maybe it's just something they're not feel as comfortable with. Maybe it's a team that's been playing together for a long time, and they just go back to their comfort picks with something like a Reinhardt being able to do that. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Sigma has just been so strong in the meta and has just done so much that it could be a weakness in them to not be able to run it as comfortably. But they are finally done banning and picking, Shy Guy. Going to one of my favorite maps, Kings Row, coming in for Game 2, going to be coming up here. I'm very excited for Kings Row. What do you think about the map choice here? Do you think it's good choice, bad choice, just kind of maybe a neutral ground footing?
I mean, it's definitely hard to say because it's not like Magna ever really had kind of a significant advantage there on Nepal. Scion looking extremely strong no matter what they're playing, but I don't necessarily think we're going to see the Bastion, so that's a good sign for Magna Terra. It's very, very hard to say going into this. Scion going to be starting out on the attack this time. That's kind of an interesting pick, one that I don't think you see a whole lot here. The team actually picking to start on the attack side. They in some ways, I feel like they kind of think the momentum is on their side. They want to just continue keeping up that aggression, and attack, I guess, really lets you do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think in general, the standard correct pick is go defense first, so you know how far you really need to get, how you can use your ults effectively to get to that next checkpoint, seeing how far you can or how well you can defend. But maybe you're right, man. Maybe they feel like they've got the momentum, they're ready to rock and roll. They don't want to let Magna Terra get their footing. So maybe this is just like a mental thing. It's we're going to steamroll you. We won the first match 2-0, and we're not going to let you set up and get rolling. So on the attack, Scion will go.
Absolutely. And now this is going to be, I would assume we're going to see mostly the meta. There is a potential here for Scion to break out kind of a surprise Bastion on the attack. I have seen teams, do it even here on King's Row on a map that is not necessarily, the easiest place to play the Bastion. It's definitely a possibility, though. You can use potentially like a Symmetra teleporter as your second DPS to get you into position. If you can take the high ground overlooking the point, it can be pretty darn oppressive.
Yeah. I would not be surprised here to see an attack Bastion. I would really think it would come in phase 2 when we get to the payload phase. I think pirate ship coming out might actually be a big deal here for Scion. We will see. And to make sure everybody stays clear at home, we've got Scion on the red team now, as well as Magna Terra has flipped over to blue side for the defense. So not to get confused with anybody, as they have flipped colors here. But I would love to see the attack Bastion. It's one of my favorite things to see. Sometimes teams just really don't prepare for it and don't expect it, and it can pop out some huge damage numbers right off the bat. Not going to run it right here at the beginning, though. Going to pharmacy. Opening pick! Nico was in a bad spot.
Oh my god, that is brutal, Nico. You got to be ready for that kind of stuff, man.
Which is not prepared. And look, immediately Magna Terra has to come back, and they're just not slowing down at all. You talked about holding that momentum. Look at this pharmacy and Take Me League on the Reaper. He got the opening pick, switches the Reaper, and he's already up top. They're at 80% of this cap. They finally able to get back in here. They know they've got to try to stop the cap right now. Magna Terra comes into the defense, but Cohesion just up in the air, no issues at all, just laying in damage. Looking for that first pick. Duke and Nico both getting very low as they're almost about to trade. They don't quite go there. Cohesion just sitting up top, though. Raining in damage, not contested at all. Nobody even looking at him. Got to start capitalizing here soon. Nitch going to be able to get the first pick. Nico will go down, so big damage going to fall for Magna Terra. Supreme with the Moira ult, the Coalescence coming out. He's going to get a pick onto Iron Crit right there. Kind of back and forth, but still at that 90% mark. There goes the kill feed, all red. And what an amazing opening push from Scion.
I mean, it all comes off the back of that initial pick. They're able to get 2 takes immediately here on King's Row, and a valiant effort coming out from Magna Terra to try to get the retake there on point A. It's just not happening with Cohesion in a defensive position, laying in Ropkicks as they try to re-aggress. And now this is worst case scenario for Magna Terra. This is what you are definitely trying to avoid right now. Cohesion in firm control of these chokes, and so much distance on this payload.
Yeah, and he was able to earn that barrage as well. He was just uncontested that entire first fight, just absolutely laying in damage, softening up their lines the whole time. And I love seeing Scion push out aggressively like this. They're letting their support sit in the back and keep this payload moving as they get all the way up to this point to keep them separated. And they are over halfway to this first point here without even contention yet. There's the barrage with the group up in the background. What a combo! Cohesion gets the quad. The rest of his team are going to help fill it out. And PMA Jelly's there for the revive as well. Basically, with the revive, a 6-0 clean sweep. That's going to get them all the way to this point.
What in the world was that, Cohesion? My dude, coming in off the top rope. And now they're going to cruise through point B. They're going to have 5.5 minutes remaining for point C here on Kings Row. This is an unreal attack round coming out from Scion, and they've got Magna Terra just scratching their heads, wondering what the heck just happened.
Oh, another big pick off for Cohesion as well as they come wrapping around this corner. Iron Crit will go down. That's just going to give them a few more feet without contention at all. The ultimate will come out from Niche as well. The Orisa canister is down, so the big damage coming out. Duke pushed all the way up front, trying to lay in damage. Nobody going down yet for Magna Terra, but they are pushed all the way back to their spawn door. Zeus on that Reaper, gonna have the ultimate up and ready. He's gonna drop in from the top, but he decides to back up a little bit safely here. So Zeus maybe with an opportunity. Here comes the lift from Jay. No follow-up there. P-May Jelly's gonna get taken out. But it's back and forth now, 4v4. Lots of ultimates are going to be coming up now. The Sigma ult on Duke now going to be coming out as well. There's the Reaper ult with the Death Blossom. This time, though, it's going to be coming out from Scion as the payload just keeps going. Magna Terra cannot find their feet at all. Zeus trying to delay as long as possible, and here comes in Lucio, but they're going to trickle in 1v1.
Iron Crit just got halted out of his sound barrier there at the end. The last hope for Magna Terra disappears in an instant, and they just got rocked.
Did the payload even stop, Shy Guy? I mean, more than maybe for a hiccup? It didn't even, I mean, not even, the trickle was, I feel like, the only time it slowed down. Where did Scion come from and what is happening? You talked about coming out on attack with momentum. They've done it.
Holy moly, that was unreal. I have not seen anything like that in quite some time. 4.5 minutes left for Scion eSports. That's, you know, if we get to extra rounds here, they've got one of the best time banks you'll ever see. But that attack was just utterly unstoppable. They used basically 0 ults to take point A. I think they maybe used a coalescence on point A. They used just that barrage to get through point B, and then they still had everything else left in the tank to finish it off. And just a disgusting attack round from Scion eSports. Magna Terra searching for answers.
It seems unfortunate if you're a Magna Terra fan right now having to watch this, but if you're new to start esports or you don't keep up entirely, I would like to reiterate that Magna Terra is not a bad team. Okay, this is not what I expected coming in here seeing this. Like, Scion is just playing so well. Shy, I'm looking at you. Are we doing the comp? Is that what we're seeing right now?
I don't know. I mean, for Magna Terra, you've got to come up with something here. You've got to come up with an impressive attack round of your own, and you know they're just gonna go back to the meta composition here, which I think is how they want to approach the series. So far, Scion has taken them off of their feet by playing some off meta picks, and it's working for them.
Yeah, and we see a little bit of an off-meta pick again. Supreme on the Ana sitting here in the background for their defensive heal. Going to try to get that huge amount of healing out to keep them all alive on this point, and I do love seeing that. We saw Magna Terra tried to come out with an opening pick onto Widow and do a similar thing that Scion did, but wasn't able to get it. The two Doomfists are going to get the couple opening picks here as Cohesion will get a pick onto Zeus and then dies immediately to Nico. So 5v5 here on the point, and already after this is already slower than the opening push we saw from Scion. Magna Terra just trying to get in here, get their feet, make sure they know they've got the quicker respawn here on the attack side for this first point. Trying to get grouped up, and there they go into the push.
Yeah, they will be coming in here for the attack at this point. Nico trying to get the punches off there. They're trying to collapse back in, but Garm's going to be the one to go down first.
Yeah, Take Me League going to get a kill on Nico as well. That makes it a 6v4 in favor of Scion as they're sitting here on this strong defense. Cohesion trying to push out and make sure that Magna Terra gets out of the way. A pretty late pick there onto Jay and onto Paduk as well. They're going to have to push them all the way back to the spawn door. Scion not taking their foot off the gas pedal and pushing them all the way back for some very late kills. And they are not slowing down. Even on defense, they are being aggressive.
I'm interested that Magna Terra decided not to push there after they had taken Cohesion out of the fight early on. They held back, they waited for a response, and now he comes in with a nano boost and just decimates them.
Kill feed is just full red here. Nico trying to run back to the safe spawn point. We'll get back there. He gets pulled back though. Cohesion gets him in the doorway. What a grab by Niche. Gets him right back in the doorway. Says, you're not going back there. You're not getting back there safe. We're getting our points on the board, and gets one more kill just for fun. Scion is just laying it down.
And right now, I mean, they're kind of just styling on Magna Terra at this point. This is going to be the push, but Cohesion again coming in off the side. He's gonna using the meteor strike to get out and try to go in for some more damage, but gets a bit over aggressive there.
Yeah, Supreme had a great sleep dart onto Jay right there on the Sigma, and then the slam down from the Doomfist ult, but wasn't able to capitalize immediately. Doesn't matter, as the damage was just coming out too much from Scion, and the ults are still in their favor. Got a Reaper ult and the Sigma ult, as well as the defensive Lucio ult ready for Scion on this defense. A minute 19, got a couple more pushes here, opportunities for Magna Terra. They're going to have to get something together here, start working a little bit more efficiently, get a nice pick off, and then push in. But it doesn't matter. Duke opens up with the ultimate as they've got plenty to spare here. Gets a great stun onto Jay, and that it's going to end that fight as well. And in the background, Supreme just doing work, just sleeps the Orisa all the way in the background. Garms wasn't even in that fight, just knocked out the whole time, taking a nap behind the bus. And now, Magna Terra does have some ults in their bank. See if they can put them together to take this point.
They'll still be pushing into quite an economy from Scion eSports as well. Take Me League still there with the Death Blossom cohesion, going to get up to a Meteor Strike pretty soon. This is looking dicey. This could be a full hold here for Scion.
Yeah, this will be potentially the last fight. They could have maybe snuck out 2 right there, but Magna Terra just trying to get together, trying to get their plan of attack, get their footing. This should be it. The Orisa ult goes down. All of them coming out now. The Coalescence as well, lifting them up in the air. Jay all over the place trying to lift them up. We see Zeus in the background. He's on the top rope. He's going to come down, but it doesn't matter. Take Me League opens up first with the Death Blossom and just wipes him out. Zeus isn't going to be able to clear up anything right there. It's a 6v1, and that is going to do it. 4.5 minutes in the time bank. Full hold. Scion eSports just wiping the floor.
And to me, that last fight is really just Magna Terra getting a bit over eager with their ultimates. They dropped the supercharger so far away from the rest of the fight so early, and in a position where Scion can kind of just back off. They use the Coalescence as well. It does take Me League down very early. He has to use Wraithwalk, but he gets the Nano Boost, and then he literally just walks straight into them for the Death Blossom to end it all. And there's nothing that Magna Terra has to stop him. They don't have any resources at that point to shut down the Reaper, and it's all over in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. And the Scion was more aggressive with their ults too. You said that Magna tried to pop them too early, and then Scion just had a great response. They didn't have as many ultimates up, but they used them much more effectively there. We saw the Reaper on Magna Terra was all the way in the back line. He repositioned all the way up into that top little balcony window, but he was too far gone. They basically made it a 5v6 for that whole fight, and Take Me League came in and just cleaned up with his Death Blossom before Zeus could even get back in time.
I mean, and there you're seeing the Ana pick coming out from Scion really having a huge impact. It's another way that you can set up your DPS for great success. I mean, normally the Coalescence is a really valuable ultimate, but it is kind of a team ultimate. It allows your entire team to surge forward. The Nano Boost gives ultimate power to one individual. In this case, it's Take Me League, who really shuts it all down there for Scion. The Death Blossom is unstoppable at that point. They needed an accretion. They needed a boost. They needed something to stop that from just tearing through the entire team, and Magna Terra just didn't have it when they needed it most.
Yeah, and talking about the Ana ultimate, I think he was on point with his sleep darts as well. I mean, I saw multiple sleep darts going out that were just making fights immediately in their favor. They weren't killing the player off to make it a 6v5, but they were slept throughout the whole fight. I mean, we saw one where Orisa was just slept behind the bus, 6v5. Sigma got slept right in the front lines into a Doomfist ultimate, a 6v5. So Ana coming out very strong there. Not the meta pick that we see as often anymore, but still an extremely powerful hero in the hands of the right player, and we saw Supreme do it lovely there.
That's so impressive to me, because this is not a meta where the Anas should be thriving. This is the double shields is like the opposite of what you want as an Ana player. It's blocking not only your damage, not only your sleep darts, not only those nano boosts, but also the healing into your own team. It's so hard to play right now, and I mean this is coming from someone I've mained Ana for quite a while on the ladder, but I've had to give that up. But Supreme making it look like it is the most important hero in the meta right now.
Yeah, and played it very, very well. I mean, you're right about trying to dodge around all those shields. Didn't matter. Plenty of sleep darts going out, using that extremely effectively, and it worked very, very well there. So Scion making their name known very quickly here. at Star Esports, making it continuing to show up in this second match. We're going into Game 3 here pretty soon. It looks like Scion Esports has banned out Voskaya, so they don't want to go to Voskaya. We'll see what Magna Terra decides to pick for Game 3 here. They're going to have to work on a reverse sweep as we're coming into the rest of this best of 5 here, and it is going to be a long one. Scion looks so strong. And I would like to reiterate, Shy, Magna Terra is not a bad team. We've seen this team perform well. We've seen them work together well. We've seen them work together as a good group. And this should just show the effectiveness that we see Scion coming out with right now, because they are making this look extremely easy, easier than I would have expected since we've seen Magna Terra play in a few other Star Esports events in the past. So no takeaway from Magna Terra. They are losing right now in this game, but they're not a bad team overall, and Scion is just looking so good.
Yeah, and I wanna give a quick shout out to one player on Magna Terra that we haven't mentioned a ton so far, because the position doesn't light up the kill feed, but Niche, I think, has been on point all night with those halts from the Orisa, setting up the rest of the team for Scion Esports to come in here. It seems like every halt is either going to have a Doomfist punching in, a Meteor Strike. He's working incredibly well alongside Duke to set up those gravitic fluxes. So I'm very impressed with the Orisa play coming out from Scion Esports so far, and it's a big part in my mind why they find themselves up 2-0 right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. One of the real reasons that we've seen Orisa in the meta so strong, obviously the shields are extremely popular and extremely important for protecting your team, but she has so much different abilities. Her damage output is pretty substantial as well with that left click, but being able to position the teams in exactly where you want them. We saw that huge combo with Cohesion in the barrage as well, just immediately grouped him up with the Orisa halt and then immediately followed up with Cohesion on barrage. It just makes it look clean. So I agree with you, man. It's a big shout out for him.
If you at home appreciate what Niche has been doing, or anybody else in this series so far, you can scroll down right below the Twitch channel where you can find the MVP poll. You can make your voice heard. Excuse me. And give one of these players some love here tonight. Give them a little bit of bragging rights. Give them a chance to come away with the MVP at the end of the night. We'll be announcing that after the series is over, but you've still got plenty of time to vote, and we've still got potentially plenty of more Overwatch to come here at the end of the day as Magna Terra try to fight their way back in this series.
Shy, I've watched enough esports in my life, and specifically casted enough, that the game's not over until it's over, all right? It can look extremely unfavorable one way. Not saying that percentage-wise, if you're going to play the statistics, that it's not going to go that way more often than not, but the game is never over until it's over. Sometimes teams are just maybe having a little bit of struggle with themselves, or maybe they're just not finding their footing or haven't been played. Maybe they haven't warmed up. They didn't have the opportunity to warm up. I've seen some crazy things happen in esports, and reverse sweeps are absolutely one of those. So the possibility is there. Magna Terra are going to have to step it up, though, and play just to a little bit higher caliber than we've seen so far. We'll see what they can do here. Coming up on Watch Point Gibraltar, team colors still the same. We've got Magna Terra on blue and Scion on the red. Shy Guy, I kind of expected it, but we got the pirate ship coming out, Cohesion, on that Bastion.
Yeah, and interesting takes on both of these. The only shield going to be Duke there for Scion Esports. They've got Niche on this, Winston to try to get some harassment on the high ground. I'm not sure how effective that's going to be right now.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well for him right there. We got Nico this time on the Bastion as well. So countering the Bastion, maybe the expected pirate ship Bastion with their own Bastion, as they have this nice high ground on Gibraltar here. And Zeus was doing some pretty strong work on the Widowmaker as well, getting some nice opening shots to soften them up. Ooh, big stun right there onto Duke. Wasn't able to capitalize. Orisa was there to protect him, but a huge stun. I thought he was going to get taken out. Zeus gets slept all the way on the top. Supreme hits a huge long-distance sleep dart. Are they going to be able to capitalize on that? Cohesion tries to go up, but it doesn't matter. Nico going to shut him down.
Yeah, well, there's a reason that the Genji is not, the most prominent DPS hero in the current meta, and you see it in action right there. Tries to get aggressive, just gets punished for it. Zeus will go down. PMA Jelly's managing to find the answer, so an opportunity here for Scion.
Yeah, and that whole time that fight got a little bit spread out. There was kind of a little bit spread. They snuck underneath that choke point as they just kept a couple of players from Scion on the payload, and it kind of made it hard for Magna Terra to set up. As we see Scion starting to get their feet now, as we've seen them for most of the night so far, keeping this strong aggression up, and it's forcing Magna Terra just to back up a little bit slowly. Zeus going to have to get a pickup here in the top while he's got some free reign. is that payload is just about to hit that point. Jay on Sigma trying to stay there as long as possible as Duke and Nitch are going to fight it out on that point, not letting it go back. Jay able to get a pickup, though, on to Take Me League. So the Bastion not going to be there for DPS for Scion, and it does look like Magna Terra can be able to hold this, but Cohesion gets the Ana ult, will get the nano boost, take Zeus out of the fight, into the backlines he will go, causing all kinds of havoc. Magna Terra lifted off the ground and slammed back down, and that should give Scion the ability to clear this off.
It was a solid attempt at a retake from Magna Terra. Zeus doing work up on the high ground, eventually able to take Me League out of the action, but it's just not enough at the end of the day. Too many resources for Scion as they push forward. Now they're going to be able to get some stagger kills here onto Paduk. You know, Garm's going to go down as well. So Scion keeping up the aggression here on Gibraltar.
Big sleep on the Nico as well. They could get up here and get this Doomfist on a huge stagger pick, trying to get him in the doorway, and they will. So Supreme, the one allowing that to happen. A huge sleep dart on the Nico. They're able to get him before he's able to reset back up, and that will get them almost up this ramp to this next point easily.
And now they get to set Take Me League up on the high ground, overlooking the final checkpoint here of point B. The Supercharger coming out from Magna Terra.
Yep, Cohesion's got the Dragon Blade out as well, but it's not going to matter. You talked about it, Take Me League on that high ground, just some beautiful angles on the Bastion, able to clean up anybody that gets in his sight line, continues to do so right there. That's 4 kills in that fight for Take Me League, making it look easy, as Zeus going to try to delay just a little bit, but not going to be enough as they are going to come onto this point. Jay kind of come in here on the Reinhardt now, trying to delay. They just want to waste as much time as this clock as possible. I don't think they expect to win that fight, but they know they've got a short run back on defense, as that door is going to take a second to open, and they just take a few more seconds off the clock, but still an almost uncontested offensive push right here.
Indeed. I mean, and that's the power of this Bastion right now. I mean, I think a lot of teams at the moment they're taking cues from what we saw the San Francisco Shock do in the Overwatch League Grand Finals, and they are abusing this Bastion. Take Me League headed up to the high ground where he's just going to be able to lay into them. Who can contest him?
Yeah, they bring the Maywall out just to pop him up out of that shield, so a good opportunity, but it doesn't matter because you don't want to go 1v1 with a Bastion shooting down his barrel. Not able to take him out right there. Now he's got the ultimate up. Into tank form he will go. This time they use the Maywall in a defensive stance, trying to get away from him as they're chasing him into the room. Nico able to get a nice pick on the Tracer there. Cohesion trying to get in there and get a little bit fancy, but does fall right there. A long run back for the side of the offense as you automatically see Scion just slowly starting to back off. Zeus tries to get up from behind him, but it doesn't matter. Another huge sleep dart from Supreme is going to take him out. Supreme on Ana has been landing those amazing sleep darts, and just when I thought Magna Terra was going to be able to slow down the stem, Scion just keeps going.
Now, I mean, in the nano boost there as well on to Take Me Leave just makes him virtually unkillable. Now he's up on the high ground with a shield, with the amplification matrix, and this is just a shooting gallery.
Yeah, they're going to try to do all they can here to delay as long as possible. Jay swapping on to the Wrecking Ball, just trying to be as annoying as possible, but he's just sitting up there, Bastion that is, up in that high ground. Take Me League just doing what he needs to do, laying in damage. Zeus even comes up there with a Death Blossom. We'll be able to clear a couple of them off, but only 1.5 meters left for the cap here. The quick runbacks from the defense maybe be able to continue to trickle on. 0.08 meters, somehow they're still holding on. Orisa has not moved off that point yet. The kill feed's still going all red. One more Maywall to delay, but that should be it as May comes out of her ice block here. They're staggering very well, but just a little bit, and that's officially going to do it. 234 on the meter there. Scion takes it.
And that's another blistering attack round from Scion eSports. Now they have a golden opportunity to finish this series off to get the 3-0 sweep in the first round. You know, something that I can't say I saw coming, and it's right in front of him at this point. I expect the Bastion again to come out on the defense. It was so effective for them, you know, the 2 times we've seen it throughout the series. Scion firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. And something I do like to see is that their aggression is so good, but even when they get a little bit of room, like you give Scion an inch and they're going to take a mile. If they get 1 or 2 picks, even if it's like a 4v4, they really aggressively start to push up and make the other team feel like they have to fall back. Even when they were in that fight in the hangar area where they lost a couple players and they kind of needed to stagger, they kind of backed up together a little bit, grouped up just enough to keep themselves in. As soon as the other player respawned and it was back to a 5v6, they immediately pushed off the payload out front. That's when they got that huge sleep onto the Doomfist and got that pick because they were all pushed out way ahead of the payload, just continuing to hold that aggression up. And they're making Magna Terra scared, I think. I mean, they make Magna Terra feel like they have to regroup and back up because you cannot go into this Scion team and feel like you're going to take it. They are taking the aggression all the way, and they're not scared to move forward. They're not worried about getting off that payload. They just leave 1 or 2 players on it, and the rest of them go out and clear enough space for the payload to keep moving.
And once again here, Take Me League gonna be kind of the final boss here for Magna Terra. If they want to stay alive in this series, they've got to deal with the Bastion once again up on the high ground. All of the team in that position just so defensive in their setup, and Nico already going down. Take Me League getting his opposite number out of the fight. This is brutal.
Yeah, Take Me League knows the hero that he wants to go after, and it's his own doppelganger. He's going to take Bastion out immediately. Another, by the way, during that fight, just beautiful sleep dart. We had Niche grab him with the Orisa halt, and then Supreme just hit a sleep dart onto the enemy Orisa, and it was able to get another couple of clean pickups there. So Supreme has just been on the money, even going into shield comps, on the money with these sleep darts consistently. Some big plays from Ana.
And now there's not a shield in sight on the other side. That's got to be scary for Magna Terra. They're switching everything up here to try and deal with the Bastion. Garm slams in on top of it, but Take Me League, unperturbed, just continues firing away.
Yeah, and I don't think this is the wrong play. I think this is what you do. You've been trying something all night. It hasn't been working for you. You got to try something else, right? You can't just keep doing the same thing, beating your head against the wall. I do, even if it didn't work out for him in that fight, I do applaud any team who is running behind to try a comp switch, try something else, just see if you can maybe get the other team off their footing. Maybe you can get something fresh for your own team. We see Garms trying to do a good job on this Hammond, getting up here and trying to knock him off that high ground. So I do applaud any team who tries to do this. Sometimes it's scary, sometimes it won't work out for you, but at the moment, not much has been working in favor of Magna Terra. So I do give big props to any team that uses the ability of the game of Overwatch to do a quick hero swap and try something else.
Yeah. But look at the distance they've gotten on the payload. 3.11 meters, and we're at 2 minutes remaining on their attack round. This has been rough. They're trying a long flank, but Take Me League still finding the kills.
Yep, a big aggressive trying to get dive comp all the way in the background here, but it's not going to be enough. Now Cohesion has a Dragon Blade up. There's a lot of squishy heroes on the side of Magna Terra, and he's going to be able to clean them up. Zeus goes down, Garms goes down, and a couple double kill for Cohesion. Make it a third one on the side of Supreme. Ana taking Nico out. Good shots onto the enemy Genji, and it's just looking so strong on side of Scion still. They're just holding in here, no issues.
Yeah, and now the one silver lining for Magna Terra, they're gonna have this Nano Blade ready to go. My question is, do you wait for Zeus to potentially get a hack onto the Batiste, get that immortality field, get an EMP potentially, but the Nano Boost comes out, here comes the Blade.
Yep, there it is, gonna see if they can follow it up. Nope, Cohesion gonna take Nico out immediately. Didn't even matter. The Genji v Genji, down he will go. Zeus would have to get that ult up just a little bit earlier. I think they could have waited for the EMP, but if they wait for the EMP, then how long is it gonna take? How much time they're gonna work off the clock? So they try to go for it right there. Doesn't work out in the favor. Payload has moved a little bit, but it doesn't seem like Scion's too worried about it. They're gonna keep killing them as they come out of the spawn door, make sure they can't get back on that payload. They're not gonna get all the way, and they know it. Scion just continuing to slaughter out here. The fight is very spread out. But even if it's spread out, I would like to say the communication from Scion is beautiful. Teammates switching immediately to help clean up kills. They kind of have a good read on where everybody's at. Even when the fight is very spread out, they're doing a very good job of working in cohesion.
Finally have the EMPs, Zeus getting forced out, so the rest of the team engaging now, but without that EMP, what can they hope to get accomplished?
Yeah, there it goes. EMP's out. This is the opportunity for Magna Terra to push in. Nico gets a good pick onto Orisa. Take Me League sitting in the background on the side of Scion, up top on the Bastion. Does finally have to move. The Diva Bomb will come out from Jay, able to pick up a knockout onto PMA Jellies in the background, but now Cohesion with his own Dragon Blade. Does get Ana grenaded right there, Bioptic grenaded, and he will go down, but not before taking out Zeus and Paduk as well. Still looking very strong for Scion. The last 5 seconds, Magna Terra is not going to be able to get off this point at this for the rest of the game now. Garms on Hammond trying to do what he can to distract. Niche going to come in for his own Hammond, though, and clean up this baby Diva, and that should do it. Overtime going down. Scion should be taking this away 3-0. Magna Terra trying to stay on the point as long as they possibly can. The quick respawns from defense. They're not out yet. Dragon Blade coming out from Nico. He's getting on the kill feed. Is this the life that Magna Terra needed? Got to get to that next checkpoint. As the kill feed is going blue here. Respawns are going to be a long way out for Scion as they're starting to make it up the ramp. Magna Terra not giving up.
All right, Magna Terra gonna be able to keep going for a little while longer. Scion, you got to give up this fight at some point here. Cannot keep staggering in. That as soon as PMA Jellies goes down, they'll give it up. But I think they'll have plenty of time to come back in here for a recontest. Bit of a mismatched composition here. Take Me League on the Soldier 76, getting pressured off the high ground, and that's gonna be it. It's point A. Pretty much going to Magna Terra.
2.5 more minutes on the clock, man. They're still hanging in here. Magna Terra not giving up. It's some interesting plays there. We saw Duke getting knocked out of the fight early. Jay had just a hilarious charge, knocked Duke right out of that fight early. And the long run backs for the side of defense on this first point gave Magna Terra the opportunity here. So 2 more minutes on the board here. Scion going to have to stop being a little cheeky and lock it back down here. Maybe they thought a little bit comfortable there. Maybe they were feeling a little bit safe. They had that in the lockdown, but give them a little bit of space, and they took it. Magna Terra, props to them, not even remotely giving up. They're still going in as hard as they can.
Well, and now they've got this set up on the high ground with Take Me League and Supreme, and that's just a deadly duo sitting up there. They've got the Sigma shield to keep them safe as well, and you know, this is so hard to dislodge if you're Magna Terra. You've got to commit the mines even from Garms.
Yep, big EMP comes out once again from Zeus. It's going to matter, though. Take Me League has the Soldier ultimate there, so easy auto aimbot. Takes out Iron Crit. Iron Crit tried to come up in the background on Lucio and boop him off that high ground, as you were talking about, but unfortunately he did fall to the Soldier, so wasn't able to get it done effectively. And after they've taken that point, the payload has not moved even an inch so far, as Scion has just made this payload their home, and they have not moved off of it yet.
Well, I think that they're kind of mad that they gave up point A. They wanted to completely keep Magna Terra off the board in this series. So they are going hard at this point. Iron Crit will take out Take Me League, so an opportunity here for Magna Terra to get some more movement.
Yep, and Zeus is wrapping around the background, getting free damage in, takes PMA Jellies out of this. Nico with the Dragon Blade, going to be able to take out Duke as well. So some more life here for Magna Terra. Zeus gets another pick, finishes off the Reinhardt there. So nobody was even looking at the Widow up top. Cohesion in the background trying to cause all kinds of mass panic. We'll knock out 2 right there. Takes out the Diva and the Genji. Zeus still sitting up on this front line getting snipes. The payload continues to move, but Cohesion kind of doing a one-man band back here on the payload, just taking out players on Magna Terra one after another.
All right, we've got a quick pause here coming in. It looks like we might have a little bit more issues for lag on the side of Magna Terra, but that gives us an opportunity. Oh, never mind. We're going right back into it.
They were messing with you, Shy. That was on purpose.
That was mean, honestly. But right now, look at these comps that both these teams are running. It's bizarre. It's unlike anything we're seeing right now. So it's coming down to these individual plays who can have a moment. Zeus doing his best to keep his team alive on the Widowmaker, and he's got opportunities.
Yeah, he's doing what he needs to do on Widow. He's getting good picks onto those easy, squishy players. Now they've got a sight line, so they know exactly where the other team is. Zeus still hasn't really been contested. Takes Cohesion out of the fight. Making a double right there as Nitch goes down as well. Zeus on the Widow gets a third, opening up all kinds of doorways. And just when we thought Magna Terra was going to get slammed on the first point, they're going to get all the way to the second point. And Scion has got to lock their footing down now. They still got a lot of time in the bank, but Magna Terra finding their strength here as these odd comps going in their favor.
Yeah, things has gotten a bit chaotic here towards the tail end of this map, and it's working great in the favor of Magna Terra. Zeus especially just popping off. You know, I want to give a shout out to Duke with a huge sleep dart in that last fight. Hit it onto Cohesion, set up the kill for Zeus, shuts down the Doomfist, wreaking havoc in their backlines. Allows Magna Terra to continue on, push forward. They've got a minute to finish the map. Can they do it?
It's going to be tough. The quick respawns on defense is going to make it even harder now. Good double kill right there for the side of Magna Terra, though. Jay getting a pick off, and Garm's getting one onto Zenyatta as well. That's going to be 4 now. They're clearing the playing field out. Going to see how well that Scion can stagger in. We have not seen Scion have to do any kind of defensive stagger at all this game, as the payload is moving in very quick. Scion going to have to regroup very fast. Take Me League going to be out here on...
Got an EMP.
Yep, on the EMP. Pops it. Another kill for Zeus is going to be a nice pickup, though. This time, Duke going to be here with the ult, trying to take Diva off the point, and they are able to get stabilized back on this point for now. 10 seconds remaining. Nico with the Death Blossom. Not able to find anybody, though. Cohesion actually going to return the favor. Takes him out mid-Death Blossom right there. And it looks like Scion may have finally found the E-break, and it put a stop to this massive push that came out from Magna Terra right here at the end. Now Magna Terra on the trickle.
Garms is doing his best to keep this one going, but it's just not going to happen at the end of the day. It all comes to a halt for Magna Terra, and Scion going to be able to finish off the sweep. They let Magna Terra have their fun for a little while, but shut it down when it matters most. Finish off the 3-0, and they come out and make themselves heard here in the first series of the tournament for Scion. For both of these teams, put down one of the best teams we've got in this league in Magna Terra, and really put on a show here tonight.
Yeah. Hey man, I know it didn't work out for them to take the victory, but I want to say Magna Terra did really well. They tried their best tonight to keep up. Scion just seemed to be on another level, but we saw them start bringing out the weird comps at the end. Started to work out in their favor once both teams kind of got into those weird comp flip-flops back and forth, players trying to try some new things. Maybe Scion giving them a little bit of room, maybe trying out some of their own heroes there as well, but I'm happy to see them not give in and not give up and not just crumble right there. They took it all the way to that very last point. Wasn't able to get the victory, but I do want to give a cheerful shout out to Magna Terra for trying something new and staying in there. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you said it earlier. I liked seeing that for Magna Terra. When things were going wrong, they were willing to change it up. They were willing to try something new. And hey, it worked better for them than anything else had worked throughout this series. They were getting steamrolled. They had not gotten a point on the board until we got to Gibraltar, until things got kind of wacky. And they were able to put up a fight on that last map. Scion still coming away with the victory, still coming away with a pretty dominant performance here tonight. And they have got to kind of be feeling themselves as we move on in this tournament. That is going to be a huge confidence boost for them.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be something for other teams to look at. I mean, I know other teams watch the VODs. I know other teams watch the streams, and Scion going to have to be one of those teams you're going to have to look out for if you're coming up in the future brackets, checking them out. Make sure to watch out for them because they're coming in swinging. With that said, we've got a player here from the side of Scion joining us for a little post-game interview. It's Cohesion. Welcome, Cohesion. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, doing all right, man. That was a great game to watch, at least if you're a Scion fan.
Of course, yeah, it was a bit of a stomp.
Yeah. What did you feel like? Did you guys feel pretty confident throughout the night, or were you guys at any point, do you guys feel like maybe you guys had some missteps, things to work on, and do you guys feel just generally pretty solid as the 3-0 represents? What do you think?
Yeah, so we kind of try-harded the first two maps, and then we started to have a little fun the third map. I locked the Genji, didn't go too well. Had 10 deaths per 10, the usual, but we ended up winning in the end, so it's all right.
Absolutely. I mean, and we saw quite a bit of the Bastion comps coming out from you guys. Is that something that you guys are really practicing a lot right now? You think it's an especially strong comp at the moment, or how situational do you really think the Bastion?
Well, we actually haven't scrimmed for like 3 weeks, so this was our first game, and I was like, hey guys, we watched Owl and they ran Bastion there, so we were like, hey, let's go for it. The Bastion Pharah, it ended up working out. And yeah, it's a strong comp.
Yeah, it worked out. It shreds the shield comp, man, going against the shields and everything. You guys were having no issues, especially on Nepal. We saw it I think that was just the first time we saw it come out. It was ripping through shields. You guys were staying in pretty easily there. So I know you were talking in chat a little bit. I don't know if stream was able to see it because we might have it turned off, but I don't know if complaining is the right word, but maybe lamenting a little bit that Genji and Tracer are not good anymore. Is that kind of your go-to? Are you comfortable with those heroes and a little sad they're not as flavorful in the meta, or are you okay switching to things like the Farah and other heroes?
Well, Genji was like my first hero that I used to like climb to GM in top 500, so I have the most fun on it, and I tried to pull it out, but as you saw, it didn't go too well, and I was just like, wow, this hero really is bad. And then I went to Tracer just to troll a little bit, but we lost. I died too, so then I just got on the meta pick Doomfist, and we started winning.
That's the way it goes sometimes. But hey, you got a couple nice Dragon Blades in there while you were at it, so it's always nice to see a throwback like that.
So my last question I've got for him, and Shy Guy, you can hit him up after if you got so too. I'm just not 100% confident. Has Scion played in Star eSports events before, or are you guys brand new to the organization?
This is our first Star Esports tourney. We did like 2 other tournaments. We didn't do too well. You know, we're a new team, so we don't have that experience, but we're hoping to gain experience through Star Esports and scrimming and stuff like that in the future.
Awesome. I thought I recognized some of your guys' names, but maybe I've seen you elsewhere. Or I'm just losing my mind. Shy Guy is the guy I trust, and he didn't recognize you, and so I immediately distrusted myself. So let me clear it up.
Well, no, and you say you're a new team, so what are kind of the goals for Scion as a team right now? Like, what are you guys shooting for?
Well, obviously, you just want to win the Star Esports tourney and other tourneys beyond that. We're just trying to gain experience. Hopefully make contenders trials when OD comes around. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to get better and playing more events and stuff. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys put on quite a show here tonight, and we appreciate you giving us an opportunity to cast some wonderful Overwatch. Before we let you go back and kind of celebrate the win with your team, we'll give you a chance here to give any shout outs that you would like to. Any streams you want to plug for your team, yourself, anything like that. Anybody at all that you want to give some props.
Shout out to all my teammates. They're good. They carried me the last map when I was trolling. Check out Niche on Twitch. It's _NichOW. And yeah, that's about all.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast and for the interview here, man. Appreciate you coming in, especially as new to the organization. And thanks for stepping up and volunteering yourself to come in here, man, and talk to us a little bit. I hope to see you more in the future at some Star Esports, man.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
All right. Well, that was a pretty fun series, I gotta say. I'm pleasantly surprised. The first round of a tournament like this, it's oftentimes the better teams kind of beating up on the worst teams, and I honestly, just from the name recognition alone, I thought Magna Terra was going to be the ones kind of delivering the hurt here tonight, but Scion came out, they surprised me, they showed that they are ready to compete in this event, so I am definitely looking out for them going forward.
Yeah, and it kind of starts to set the playing field for this brawl, right? We talk about bringing in new teams and everything, and we've got some veteran teams that we've seen, and we know what the veteran teams can do. So when you see a new team come in here and lay it down like that, it really, I think, starts to set up what not just this organization, but what this specific tournament could be moving forward as players just continue to improve and teams continue to improve and get better. Really starts to set the playing field for us as we move into the rest of this brawl. So very excited to see what the future can bring. Even though it was a 3-0, I know 3-0s don't always seem to be the most enjoyable. That one was still fun. We had some big plays and some awesome things that happened back and forth. And again, for me, because it's the first week, sometimes, like you said, Shy, you expect it a little bit. But it does get me very excited for the future as teams start matching up as they continue to move forward in the bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. And, speaking of which, that means that we are going to be seeing Scion Esports move on in the upper bracket. They'll be taking on Team 2 in the next round in games starting next week. And, Magna Terra going to drop down to the losers bracket where they will be taking on 6 Gun. So still an opportunity for Magna Terra to fight their way back in this series, and should be a lot of fun to see them try to make a lower bracket run here. I think they're very capable of that kind of thing going forward. It's not an unfamiliar position for them. If I remember correctly, last All-Star Brawl, they had a pretty long lower bracket run to eventually get into that 4th place spot. So I don't think this will be the last we've seen of Magna Terra.
Yep, I agree with you. And I think that will be kind of the showing of a veteran team. I think even if you can stay in there and stay going, even if it doesn't feel comfortable, I think having a good manager, Scorch, we've talked to a couple times, they've got a coach now that's ready to go. I think that can really pay some dividends off into keeping that mental state and making sure you keep that grind on for them. So.
Yeah, and one thing that they will have to take away from this series here tonight is the viewers MVP. That's going to be going to Nico this evening. Playing primarily that Doomfist role for the side of Magna Terra and doing a pretty good job, standing toe to toe to Cohesion whenever that we got that head-to-head matchup. This was a rough showing for Magna Terra overall, but Nico still has definitely stuff to keep his head up and things to continue to improve on as they move forward.
And as Magna Terra, the veteran team, they got some fans out there watching, man. So Magna Terra, keep showing up, keep doing your thing, man. You guys are not unknown, and I'm not disappointed in the slightest, man. I know 3-0s or 0-3s don't feel good at all. I know they don't feel good. Again, I'll mention it one more time. There's a reason I don't play, and I know they don't feel good. But make sure you guys keep your heads up in there and keep coming around. I love seeing it. And the only way to keep going is up. And the only way you're going to keep doing that is by keep practicing. So I'm glad they come and show out. So
I couldn't have said it better myself. And I think that's going to bring us to the end of the broadcast here tonight. It's been a pleasure casting with you once again, Twess. And I hope that everyone at home enjoyed the match here this evening, and will join us again in the future for more of the Overwatch All-Star Brawl and all the wonderful things going on here at Star Esports.
Yeah, very much. Be sure to check out Star Esports on all their social media. They got obviously the Twitch channel here. Give them a follow. And if you want to support the awesome organization, maybe drop some subs, maybe give them a little bit of help. It keeps the organization alive and thriving. Go check out their Twitter to find out all the updated information. And then definitely join the Discord, where you're going to be able to find out all the sign-up information for the upcoming events, be able to keep up on the brackets, and maybe interact with the players and teams inside the Discord in a little bit more casual area as well. Get some scrims going if you want to practice yourself. So, Shy Guy, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you. I know, spoilers, like I said earlier, for the viewers, me and you are going to be working together a little bit more in the future of this brawl, so I'll be very excited to do that. Thank you very much. I was Twess. This was Shy Guy. Shout out to the Star Esports League production organization. We are out of here. See you guys next time at Star Esports with the All-Star Brawl.
Peace.